Hey, what's going on, guys? 3D Icicle Freeze here, Jake. I think I'm just going to start saying Jake because it's kind of getting annoying saying 3D Icicle Freeze and, so, excuse me, I'm just putting my foot down. I fell asleep. So this is part 2 of my random rambles. I guess I didn't really, finish the story very well for part 1, so if you haven't seen part 1, I'd recommend watching it, or listening at least to the end. So just continuing where I left off, so when I got released to the hospital, I'm sorry about that, I was actually biting off like a little thing off my lip, it was weird. I'm sorry again that my hair is so crazy, it looks stupid, but then I wear my hat and I feel like I look even stupider. This hat just looks stupid. I mean, that looks dumb. I don't know. That's covering my eyebrows. That's all right. So anyway, let me continue. So I was released from the hospital. I got on a medication that worked so well for me, and even now I'm still on it. By the way, if you want, I don't want to talk about specific medications because I don't want people to think. Already, when you hear medication, people treat you differently. But I'm a very open person. But if you want to know the specific medication, you can message me and I'll respond, or even in a comment, I guess I'd be willing to say it. But anyway, I got on a good medication. I was good, and I got out of the hospital and I read my friend Daniel's message that I was talking about in the last part. And it was just so amazing, and I just burst into tears of almost just like relief and joy, and yeah, it was just so incredible to hear that, and I felt great. And it was, let me tell you, when I got home, it didn't feel like I was home. It felt like, because I was only there for a week, but time goes slow there, and man, and I got some funny stories I'm gonna tell you, but yeah, so I got out and I read Daniel's message, and it was incredible, and ever since then I've been reading the Bible. I've gone back to church now, and I've I'm doing things that are helping me in my life. Like, I've stopped cursing or swearing, and I mean, not totally, there's sometimes where I slip. It happens a lot when I'm with my friends. When I'm with my friends and they're all cursing or swearing, then I kind of will slip one because I'm trying to be funny. I'm trying to, make them laugh. I'm trying to please them. But really, for me, I'm a Christian. I shouldn't be trying to please anybody except for God, So, but anyway, and by the way, as I said before, I am talking about my personal journey and stuff and whatnot in this video. So if you're not religious, just bear with me, because I'm going to get to some funny stuff that aren't, I'm going to talk about other stuff, but I just want to finish the story. And, so yeah, so ever since then, I've been feeling really good. And actually, believe it or not, I wasn't 100% perfect, though. Ever since I got out of the hospital, I've thrown up, I think, 5 times. So 5 times in the past 6 months, which is pretty good. So that's on average 1 time a month. It might even be just 4 times, 4 or 3. And so, yeah. So, what's nice is, too, one of the things I had with my anxiety when I do have anxiety is that I'm afraid to throw up. But now I've thrown up so many times that I actually want to throw up. I'm like, oh my gosh, please, can I just stick my finger in my throat and just get it over with? But, excuse me, but obviously that's wrong, Sadly, people who are, anemic do that. It's not good, Even last night, I had avocado, and it did not sit well with me, and I will never have avocado again. And that's sad because avocado is guacamole, and guacamole is delicious, but I just can't. I felt terrible. Anyway, though, I'm getting off topic. So I guess some funny stories I could tell you guys about what happened in the hospital. And some good things too. I met a lot of, cool people there, and a lot of people that were just struggling with depression. And I'll never forget, there was this one girl who was really pretty. She had glasses and her head was shaven. And I think she just liked the look. I don't think that she had anything wrong with her or anything, but she was super nice and super mellow and very pretty, and it's funny because I like girls with long dark hair, like Asian hair. Like I'm specifically, I am attracted to Asians more than, like, I'm attracted to anybody. I'd go out with any girl. Their personality, of course, is what matters the most to me, not their looks. But I do have to admit, I'm attracted the most to, well, dark hair, like really long dark hair and blue eyes. That would kill me, like in a good way. But she didn't have any hair. That's the point. And I still thought she was pretty, and it was cool because we were talking, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm here because I struggle with eating. I have like eating disorders. And she was very, thin, like she was in good shape. And I said, oh really? And she said, yeah. She said, I'm actually like a bikini model, like a bodybuilder bikini model. And I was like, wow, really? And she goes, yeah. And she's like, I'm not in season right now, like I'm not in training, so that's why I don't look it. But she would say, like, it's so hard because like it's so strict about what you have to eat. And it's so funny because, like, it sounds stupid, but like I learned something, because like when I see those men and women, the men who are in Speedos and they're all muscular and tan, and then you see the women and their breasts are practically popping out, and they're, they have really good bodies and abs and all that, and I'm just jealous of anybody who's tan and has abs and whatever. But not really. I really don't care. But I mean, I do want abs, but I'm not jealous. But but it was so cool because you normally think, oh well, that person has it all, they're whatever. I mean, well, I was talking to this girl who does this, and she was saying, she's like, yeah, it's so hard. You have to work out. You can only eat like 500 calories a day. She's like, and the bikini, she said, the bikinis are like $100. I was like, $100? That's crazy for a bikini, something you're gonna wear like twice. See, that's why I'm weird like that. Like, well, actually, I'll talk about that in a separate part. If people like these, I'll keep making these videos. But I mean, I'm probably gonna do them anyway because I like to just talk to myself. Maybe one day I'll look back on all these videos and listen to them and say, oh well, I wonder what's changed. I wonder what's the same, etc. So yeah, so it was just so cool because I really learned, like, wow, it's not as easy as they make it look, So, but anyway, when I was in the hospital, I got used to my first roommate. He was very nice. He actually left after the first day, and then I got a second roommate, and he was actually really nice too. But he was only there for 2 days, and then my third roommate, his name was Harry. Good-looking guy, whatever. Huge muscles, like muscles the size of my head. He comes in, he just sleeps the whole first day. He just slept. He just laid in bed and slept. The second day, he gets up, and he kind of like sees things, like he's kind of getting up. And then one day I'm in the room with like my friends. We're doing coloring books or whatever. And he's on the phone in the room. And he goes, you freaking, you effing, the C word, and cursing and swearing at his wife, because we found out he was talking to his wife or his girlfriend, like, so badly. And then he was talking about this guy that something happened, but he's like, I'm gonna kill him when I get out. And then he's like, are you effing kidding me? And he takes the phone, because it's wired to like the wall, and he starts smashing it against the wall. And some girl who was sitting next to me, because she knew that was my roommate, and she knew I was afraid of him, and she goes, that phone is your head. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I was terrified of this guy. I mean, this guy was much taller than me, huge. It would take 2 or 3 nurses to stop this guy if he went on a rampage. That's how big he was, just a scary guy. And so anyway, I was scared, but the next day I found out I was getting released. And, I was, the woman came in my room, and all these people were leaving, and I got so jealous. I was like, oh, I wish I was leaving. And then a woman came, a friend of mine, a nurse, her name was Janetta, and she goes, oh, Jake, make sure you pack your stuff. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, oh, they didn't tell you you're leaving? I was like, oh, yes, I'm so happy I'm leaving. I didn't think I was. I saw all these other people leaving, and I was like upset, like, oh, when am I going to leave? And so, because I was feeling better, I felt ready to go anywhere and travel. I felt good. So, I found that out, and Harry, he's my roommate, and he goes, oh, you're getting out of here? Because it was the morning, and he was sleeping on his side of the bed, and I go, we had separate beds, not his side of the bed. There are separate beds. And he goes, you're getting out. So he said, you're leaving? And I said, yeah, I'm leaving. And I said, I have all because my parents knew I hate tap water, really. So my parents brought me water bottles, and I said, well, since I'm leaving, you want these water bottles? Because they only have terrible tap water here. And he said, hell yeah. And so I put them on his, desk or whatever. And he looks at me and he goes, how do I get out of here? And I said, I'm going to be honest, man, you got to just try to make an effort and look like you feel better and look like you don't need to be here, and they will. And so anyway, I had to wait till 3 p.m. to get released. And actually, he got up, and we were walking I was walking down the hallway, and he was passing me, and he goes, hey, I'm leaving too. And I go, oh, nice. And I shake his hand, and, and that was cool. And, and then what happened was they had a rec room that I had never been in, and they had ping pong, and this girl said, it was so funny. There's this short African-American girl, and she's like, you want to play? And I was like, yeah, let's play. And I lost. It was a close game, but I lost. It was like 13-12. I was like, oh, dang. And I didn't realize she was actually a mother. She looked like she was younger than me, but she was a mother. I was like, oh my goodness, she's so small. But the reason I just mentioned that she's African American, because I thought it was funny the way she said it, because Harry came into the room, in the rec room, and he was watching us play ping pong, and I lost, and I was sweating, and she goes to Harry, she goes, you want to play? And I look at her, because I don't know, I'm scared of this guy still, even though he's calmed down and he likes me, because there were many times I went up to him and I was like, hey man, I just want to let you know, I know you don't want to be here, but if you ever want to just talk about it, let me know. And he would just nod his head. Then I'd leave. I just tried to make an effort for him to open up. And so I was looking at her after we played ping pong, and she's like, oh, you'll be fine. Just the way she said it was just really funny. It was she's like, you worry too much. And Harry goes, worry about what? And I was like, oh, nothing. I was like, let's play ping pong. Let's play. And we were playing ping pong, and he was having a good time, and he was talking to me, and he was telling me, about, just ping pong, and then we started talking about life, and then some other friends of mine that I made there came in, and, we were talking, and he wound up being a pretty nice guy, I mean, he obviously something happened that pissed him off, and he was definitely a typical guy. I'll never, because we shared a bathroom, and he wouldn't flush when he pissed. Is it defecated? What's an appropriate word to say poop? He pooped. When he pooped, he flushed, but when he urinated, he just left it there. And that's gross. Like, I don't want to see that. And so I actually put a sign. I drew a sign. I was like, okay, please flush. And it said, and I wrote, by staff, even though I'm the one writing this. And, but yeah, it was just so, and he never did anyway. But anyway, I totally forgot. There's one more story, regarding, this guy named Harry. So the second day where he just kept sleeping, I walk into my room to get, my notebook, and Harry's sleeping there, and I walk in, and he has like because he had just pretty much got in. It was like only his second day. And he didn't have clothes on. He just had like the, like when you go to, like that apron almost, like that, and so, you have your underwear on, but you don't have a shirt, you don't have shorts or pants or socks or anything. You just have that covering, it covers everywhere, but, it's kind of like loose. And so I walk into my room, and I'm not joking, I walk in, and his penis is just hanging out. And so I literally am staring. I'm standing at the door staring at his penis. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. And I walk in and I get my notebook. And then I look back and I just start staring at his penis again. I'm like, is this really happening? Like, is this happening? And so I go to the front desk and I tell, the guy's name is Angelo. And actually, the only reason I remember that is because my sister is actually talking to this guy, Angelo, now. But he's a nurse. Angelo's this nurse. And so I go up to him, I say, and my friends are behind me, and I told them, and they're like cracking up. They want to laugh so hard. But I go to the front desk where all the nurses is, and I go up to Angelo and I say, hey man, I'm really sorry, but if you could do me a favor, I'm really scared of this guy that I'm rooming with. And his penis is out, and he's sleeping, and I just really don't want to see that. And Angelo goes, his penis is just hanging out. And I go, yeah, it's just out. And I go, if you could please just tell him to pull up his pants or something, I would appreciate that so much. And he did. And believe it or not, when we were playing ping pong, so now we're fast forwarding back to, the day I'm leaving. And we're playing ping pong, and he goes, are you the one who told the nurse that my penis was hanging out? And I go, oh my gosh, this guy's about to bash my face in. And I go, yeah, and he's like, no. It's okay. I'm really sorry you had to see that. And he's like, man, the nurse came in, and he's like, Harry, pull up your pants. Your penis is hanging out. And he's like, my penis isn't hanging out. And I looked down and I was like, oh, it is. And so it was so funny because like, it's just one of those things like, because listen, I don't, like the reason I emphasized that I was staring is because I was just in so much shock that this was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just so shocked. I was just like, wow. This guy's penis is actually just hanging out. I'm sorry for being vulgar, by the way. I'm just being real, honestly. I'm just being real with you guys. I think I'm actually gonna do a part 3, and then I'm gonna go home because I'm hungry. But I'm gonna do a part 3. But I'm gonna end the part 2 off here. Again, guys, please let me know in the comments, like, if there are any like things that you could like relate to, like funny stories or anything that this reminds you of, and and tag the time that you thought of it, so I know I can like listen to myself and then read your comment and say, oh, okay, and so. But anyway, guys, if you guys like this stuff, let me know. This random rambling about like stories, let me know, because I have plenty of stories, and I'm gonna do one more after this, I think. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, comment below, tell me your stories, let me know if you guys like this kind of stuff, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.